About when you're born into a fire, let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
What is up, my Patriots? How is everybody feeling today now that this election is behind us and we have our president? How is everybody doing today? I can tell you that I am feeling great. I still think I'm a little hungover from the election night because it was a late night. It was a very late night. You see, hey, I tag you in a video. What happens if Biden says that Trump won the 2020 election? That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Why are you, let me see, your chat's not showing up here, Steve. Do me a favor, somebody, so let me see, you said, what's up, buddy? Okay, so I'm seeing this stuff on, okay, we're seeing it now. Cool. Liberals are cooked. Harry was about to cry. Look, here's the thing. You're feeling amazing. Same here, Vash. Here's the thing about Harry. I will give Harry credit. Harry gave a very professional, very courteous, video about the loss. And I think that was really good of him to do. I think that was huge.
Everyone saying Russia, Russia, Russia.
Oh shit, hold on.
News, no
We got a
wonder
bunch
no
of, we got
Russia. The United Nation filled with suckers.
Vash.
The only journalist I trust is Tucker.
All right, so Vash we're going to have 5 of these. Hold on a second. Vash just, oh shit, he just
Russia,
gifted
Russia,
more.
Russia. Fake news, no
Holy
wonder
shit,
no
thank you guys
Russia.
so much.
The United Nation
All right, we gotta
filled
let
with
this play.
suckers. The only journalist I trust is Tucker.
Oh, my Lord.
Everyone saying Russia, Russia, Russia. Fake news, no wonder no one trusts ya. The United Nation filled with suckers.
All right, thank you guys so much for the gifted subs. You guys are amazing. We got 10 gifted subs. We got 5 from Vash and 5 from K-Dub. I still don't... I still don't know how to make it once. All right, there we go. I had to turn that down so we could talk. You bought my book? Thank you so much, Corgis. I appreciate that. I still need help on the alerts because it's going to play it for every time you gift one. I told you I would help you. You guys got to help me do that. I don't know how to make it only one time. But thank you guys. Thank you, Vash, for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, K-Dub, for the 5 gifted subs. Guys, if you got a free sub from one of these guys, if you got a gifted from one of these guys, please thank them. Please just shoot them a thank you in the chat. We got to keep growing. We got to be bigger than Hassan on this platform. That's what we got to do, because fuck that guy. You do, but, you know, it's funny. Fake news, Russia. So do you guys still hear the alert? Are you guys still hearing the alert? Because it's still playing in my headphones. Are you guys still hearing the alert? No? Okay. You're not hearing it. I'm still hearing it in my headphones. Hassan is so fucking stupid. I hope that motherfucker goes away. But let me see. What did you guys say? Democrats are crying and threatening to hurt Trump supporters. Good luck. We got all the guns. I wish them motherfuckers would start some beef. We got all the guns. Let them go ahead and start some beef. Well, I wish a motherfucker would. Like, go ahead and start shit with us. That's not going to work out well for them. So, you know, I'm not worried about that. But guys, how was your election night experience? Were you guys stressed? Were you nervous? What was it like? You nailed it in one of your videos since the election about holding the incoming admin accountable. That's what it is, K-Dub. That's really what it is. Like, that is our job now. It is our job. Here's the thing, because we can't be the party that just, you know, just lets our side get away with everything. Like, that's our job now. Our job before was pushing hard, getting him elected, right? And now it is making sure, because here's the thing, like, this is not just an election. This wasn't just an election. This was a mandate from the American people. Republicans already had the Supreme Court, and now now we could very possibly have the Senate, the House, and the presidency. So, like, if we don't get in these first 2, like, we have 2 years to get shit done, and we need to hold them accountable to do those things. Like, that's the big thing. Yeah. You didn't realize so many people did not think abortion wasn't the number one problem. And the thing is like, we have to, like, guys, we also have to think about this in the sense of the people we encounter, right? Because the idea that they were pushing is that the craziness that we heard on the left, on TikTok, on Twitter, X, on all these different platforms was that abortion was really important. Transgender kids being able to cut their fucking dicks off was important. Was that all of that was important? That's what mattered to the American people. And here in giving a thank you for the bit. Appreciate that, Vash. But you got to think, is one thing the liberals showed us is that they are normal people, right? That they have the same concerns we do. That's what the liberals showed us. They showed us that there's people calling for a recount, but guys, you got to recognize that those are the people on the extremes, right? These are people on the extremes. These are not the normal people. The normal people voted for Trump. And here's the thing, Democrats got the same amount of votes they always get. Like, that's the thing, is they set the bar, is they got the same amount of votes they always get. Let me see if I can actually show you real quick. I don't know if I saved it on Twitter. Let me look real quick. Let me see here. Let me see my bookmarks. Where's my bookmarks? Bookmarks. Let me see if I saved it here, because I want to show you guys this, because it shows that and don't get me wrong, guys, we are going to look at some wild fucking leftists today. But, I don't think I didn't save it. But guys, you got to understand that the Democrats get the same amount of votes every election. Every time they're getting the same amount of votes. The difference is, can the Republican Party excite their base and excite independents enough to get them to come out and vote for them? And that's what we did this election. We excited people to come out and help the country change direction. It's not the economy or wars where Ukraine already reached out to Trump to find peace. Yeah, that's the thing. Hamas is looking for peace. Everybody's looking for peace right now. And you're right, Steve, there's nothing they could do on abortion on a federal level. They know that. And watching liberals lose it, guys, we are going to watch some liberals fucking lose it today. And I think it's wonderful. it's absolutely wonderful. I am so excited. But here's the thing, guys. We can celebrate, right? We can celebrate for like a month and a half, maybe, right? Till we get to. But we need to start working on. We need to start working on being the bigger people, right? We have to start focusing on the idea that we can. Like, I want to start holding lives with liberals, and I want to talk to them about what their realistic wants are on day one, what they can expect to see on day one. I think that's big, and I think that's really big is that we can agree on things that are going to actually happen on day one. Because before they were talking about Kamala Harris, right? And they were like, she's going to get in office. She's going to make abortion legal nationwide. She's going to do this and this. Now they know that's not reality, right? They're not. That's not reality. That's not what's going to happen. Now we can find out, hey, what can Donald Trump do on day one that you'll be happy with? Because that's what I want to learn. I want to learn what their realistic expectations that would make them happy. I don't want to hear about their fucking doomsaying and what they think, like, oh my God, fucking democracy is going to end and all that shit. It's just, I want to get real honest thought process of, hey, what could Donald Trump do on day one that would make you smile, that would make you happy, that would make you happy with him as president? Because we have to understand that if we want America to be united, we have to come together on our expectations, right? Because here's the thing. Here's what I think Trump's going to do on abortion on day one. Fucking nothing. He's not going to do anything, which is exactly what he should do. He shouldn't do shit. It's with the states. Leave it at that. And here's the thing, guys. If you look at the elections, every single state that put whether or not to allow abortion on the ballot, with the exception of Florida, every one of them voted yes. So all of those states have access to abortion now. And that's their state's decision to do that, right? So that's awesome. Yeah, exactly. You're not lying. You're 100% right. I'm not seeing any social media posts from Trump either. He's focusing on what he needs to do. You see my post about my idea for VA benefits and military pay? Are you talking about the VA benefits where we make it like a credit system to the normal healthcare? Is that what you're talking about, Vash? Yeah, I saw Kamala supporters shaving their heads. These fucking idiots. Like, that's insane. They think we should extend an olive branch by expanding SCOTUS. Here's the thing. That wouldn't be an olive branch, though. That's the wild part. That wouldn't be an olive branch. Because if we expand the Supreme Court, Trump's still going to appoint them. So that wouldn't be an olive branch. It would just be giving us even more power. Because here's what's going to happen. Clarence Thomas and I think Scalia are both probably going to retire. So Donald Trump is going to put in 2 more Supreme Court justices that are going to be like in their 40s or in their late 30s. They're going to be young, and they're going to be there for decades. Like the Supreme Court is constitutionalist for a very long time. It's going to be a very, very long time. Abortion isn't even all this yet. Ending the wars, that's a big one. Closing the border, absolutely. The mass deportations, I'm 100% for it. But again, the last one you listed, Lion, is the top. You're right. Drilling. We need to bring down energy costs. But we're not just going to bring down energy costs by drilling. The way we bring down energy costs is by letting other nations know that they're not going to take advantage of us. Democrats said, y'all need to stop gloating and have some compassion. I don't have any compassion because I can tell you that even if Trump had lost, I wouldn't have been on here crying. I've been on here talking about what we can do to make our country successful with Kamala Harris as president. Not sure if I've missed any streams, but I've been waiting on you since the election. I haven't. So I was traveling during the election. I went out to Dallas for an election party with some creators from X, had a great, party with them. And I just got back late last night. I think my plane got in at like 10 p.m. And I got home at I had to go pick up the dog. I got home at 11:30 midnight. So I didn't really get to do much, I didn't really get to stream since the election. So I'm okay. They're letting me back on TikTok now, or at least for now they are. So, we'll see if that continues on. I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping that, we can have a valid discussion on TikTok. We can actually, communicate with each other again, and we can not, because guys, here's the biggest thing. All right. Is for the last 6 to 9 months, we have been in a complete adversarial mode, right? In a complete fight everything mode. And everything on TikTok has been a debate. It's been about arguing my points versus your points and my candidate versus your candidate. Like, that's what we've been doing. We need to transition out of that mode now, right? We need to transition to a mode where the TikTok lives aren't about debate. They're about communication. They're about seeing where we agree. They're about seeing the things that we can agree on and we can use to make our country better. That's what it needs. That's what I'm hoping it transitions to, right? I'm hoping to see Dean and Parker and Harry and all these guys that do in their lives to be uniting, right? Because that's what they should do, right? They should be bringing up creators or bringing up people and saying, let's talk about what we can agree that needs to happen in our country, right? Because we can find things. And this election showed us that it's not about all of our differences. Like, this was a mandate from the American people to give Donald Trump the presidency, the House, and the Senate. This was a mandate. And to win the popular vote, which hasn't been done since George Bush did it in 2004. Like, this is a big thing. And there are some basic facts that we need to get liberals to accept before we can move forward, right? Yeah, but it's not so much about fighting them to get them. It's about providing them information and seeing where we can, like, we don't get to decide how they get there. Like, that's the big thing, is we have to recognize we don't get to decide the path by which liberals are going to be able to agree with us on things. We just have to get there, right? We have to stay, and biggest thing, we have to hold Donald Trump accountable to do what he said he's going to do. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Donald Trump needs to be held accountable to do what he said he was going to do. Because people, like, for the last 4 years, the liberals, the left side of TikTok and left side of social media have never criticized. Like, you can go back through Harry's account, and I challenge you to find one criticism of Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, right? And we can't be those type of creators. We cannot be those type of people on social media. Like, I've already started talking to Trump, not personally. I don't know the guy, but I've already, like, one of my posts, I literally put out about Thomas Massey being in charge of the Department of Agriculture. And I told him straight out, if you don't nominate Thomas Massey, you're not taking the American farmers serious. And that's how I'm going to be. I will not be a person that co-signs everything Trump does, but I will be there to cheer when he does the right things. And I will be there to attack the shit out of him when he does shit he said he wouldn't do, right? You're absolutely right, DeBears. All the credibility relies on Trump doing what he said he was going to do. It has to be that way. We have to hold him accountable. I'm not back on my old account on TikTok, but again, if you can find me, great. I'm not putting it out there. I'm not trying to get mass reported and shit, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But the thing is, like, again, this isn't about like, look, take a week, celebrate, really, really enjoy the fact I'm getting right to work. I'm getting right to work, and I'll tell you guys, I am seriously interested in a run for office, because I know that people like Byron Donalds or Matt Gaetz, they're probably going to leave their positions in Florida and go work in the administration. And I'm seriously considering seeing who I can talk to about making a run for those seats. And even if I can't get into one of those, my goal is in 2 years to challenge Kathy Castor here in Florida and challenge the one Democrat we really have in this area and take her spot from her. So, that's the goal, is, I want to be a part of this administration. I've started talking to people in the administration, or people that are hopefully going to be in the administration, to see about a role to play either in the press office or in the energy office, because, that's really my specialties. Do I want to meet Tim Scott? I'd be happy to meet Tim Scott. That'd be great. But I mean, that's the thing, is you're going to his house next month. I would be thrilled to meet Tim Scott. I would be very, very excited to meet Tim Scott. Because that's the thing, is, like, we need to make sure that, we're working together. Yeah, and if he can help, I'm absolutely down. Yeah, I plan on running. What is the most important change you think you could make in office? So the first thing that I would do is I would tell the voters and say, anything that is going on behind the scenes, I'm going to tell you about. that there's nothing that's going to happen in my Florida congressional office that I'm not going to tell everybody about. Like, right, it's simple as that. If you come to me and you say we're thinking about making this decision, I'm bringing it to the citizens of Florida immediately. I'm making a call to them immediately because I'm going to put out a press release or I'm going to do a press conference because I want the people of Florida to be informed. I want them to know exactly what I'm doing because then I want them to make their voices heard because I'm not there to make decisions. I'm there to represent the people. If they elect me to be in the House, my job is to represent my district. And whatever my district wants is what we're going to do. It isn't a matter of my personal wants. It isn't a matter of like, I'm going to do this for this back end benefit. It's what the people want. It's like, and the beautiful thing about the House is you're up for reelection every 2 years. You're up for election every 2 years. So if you're not doing what the people of your district want, why the hell would they reelect? I don't want to be elected because I got enough money behind me to do it. I want to be elected because I'm going to represent the people of the districts. And here's the thing. I'm not an expert on politics. I'm not an expert on how to run a state. I'm not an expert on how to run a district. But that's not what you'd be electing me for. You'd be electing me because I will put the experts in place to do that. Because I will hire the experts to do it right. And the thing is, we will publicly do it. It's not like some backroom deals for some company that's a friend of mine. No, it's, hey, look, if I'm going to hire somebody, I'm going to make my case to the people of my district first. I'm going to say, I want to hire this person to do this. And here's why. If you disagree, tell me. Like I would be the first congressional candidate that would hold daily live briefings, daily live interviews online. Every single day of my candidacy would be at least a couple hours online answering questions on YouTube, Twitch, X, and answering these questions for the people who actually have the question. And then and make sure we're able to figure that out. Whatever they want me to do, that's what I'm going to do. You have the same cap? Hell yeah, Iron and Ink. Love these guys. This is a great company, by the way. They're not sponsoring me. They're not a sponsor of my stuff. I just love their gear, right? They're fully welcome to sponsor me if you want to sponsor me. But again, it's they're amazing gear. I love their stuff. They don't sponsor me, but I would be more than willing to accept the sponsorship. Just love their shit. Where did the 12 million votes from the last election go for the Dems? Because they weren't able to cheat. The Republican Party had 500 lawyers in each state waiting for any reports, waiting for anything like that, and waiting for that. So they weren't able to do it. Like, you got to remember, before Election Day, there were already 10 lawsuits filed by the Republican Party, and they won all 10 to keep polling places open or get, people get their ballots counted or get irregularities taken care of. We took care of all that. We were on it. And the same thing needs to happen in 2028. Like, that's what needs to happen. Like, because you got to understand that historically, Democrats get the same amount of votes every election. They set the bar and we have to exceed it. Just except for the last election, which, let's be real, it was bullshit. Like, let's just be real for a second. Like we're not gonna hear, it's just the reality of it, that like we gotta stop playing like that didn't happen, because it did. Let me see here real quick. Hold on, I gotta post this. December 11 through 13. If you're free, I'm going to try to sub at dinner. I'm totally down. I will make myself available 100%. I will 100% make myself available. You can count me in. How do you think lobbyists are realigning their approach to politicians? I don't think lobbyists are changing the way they do things. I think they're going to continue to operate the way they always have, because money has a really great effect on people. Like, it really does. It's just a massive effect. And here's the thing. There are plenty of corrupt people in the Republican Party. I'm not on here being like, oh, we have the 12 disciples of Christ. And thank you so much, Vash. If that's set up, thank you so much, man. And thank you so much for trying, even if it can't happen. Thank you so much. Hold on, I'm just posting this from the address. Let me see. But yeah, I mean, the reality is that we have corrupt people in our shit. And it said, in the long game, it was honestly better that it happened then. Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing is, like, we have corrupt people, and we need to make sure we don't put them in positions of power. We need, like, viable people. That's why I love somebody like Thomas Massie, because Thomas Massie is about as, like, country straightforward as you get, right? Like nobody looks at Thomas Massey and thinks he's some slick Washington guy. He's not. He's a country ass boy, and it's very, very cool to have him there. But like I'm mad at some of the things that happened in the election. How does the concept of American pooling relate to shared service models in businesses? What do you mean by American pooling? I don't understand what you mean by that. How can we get a single item bill and not a crap bill? That's one thing. If you put me in office, I will refuse to vote on any bill that's not single issue. And the best part about it, here's what I would do with any bill like that. I would take any bill because I am responsible to the people of my district if I'm elected. So I would take every bill that comes out and I would divide it up into the parts, and I would say I would vote yes on this, no on this, yes on this, no on this, and just say, like, that's, if you make it a single issue bill, this is the votes. Like, I will be very plain with people. I can promise you that if I was elected, I would be the most open politician y'all have ever seen. What does Florida do to have as many people as it does and still count votes faster than other states? Is we actually just count the votes. We don't try to add in manipulation. You have to make a blogging website and upload your reviews on your website. No, I will be. I'll be putting everything up. I'll be putting everything up. But I mean, that's the reality, is that you have to be open. Is this a prelude into public service? Oh, absolutely. So my goal is that obviously people like Byron Donalds and Matt Gaetz are going to go work in the administration, right? So their seats are going to be open. So I'd love to try to, make a run for those seats if I could get the support to do it. And if I can't, I would wait until 2026 and I would run against Kathy Castor. She's my local rep. She's the only Democrat in the area, and I would want to absolutely smash her in that election. For your reviews. Well, I mean, for reviews, I just want to have, like, honestly, I want my online presence to be my campaign, because I just want to be honest about everyone. I just want to be honest to everyone and say, look, this is how I am on the issues. You need to jump off. You can't see later, Steve. But I mean, that's the big thing, is that it's about shame you are not in PA. Well, I'm originally from PA. I just don't live there anymore. But I mean, the big thing is that I want to go where I can do the most good. And I don't, like, people talk about, like, your first election, you should run for like a state house or something. I'm not doing that. If I'm going to run, it's going to be for the U.S. House. Secretary of Defense, I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified for Secretary of Defense, right? I'm not qualified for it. It's that simple. Yeah, develop a website for you and share your opinions. Absolutely. Like, that would be a beautiful thing to be able to do, where voters in your, like, that's something we should be able to do, where voters in your district can leave questions that they want answers to, and then the candidate or the representative can just go click that question. And just like we do how we respond to comments, on TikTok, it should be the same thing, where we go click on that comment and we answer it. And then you go through, and each politician commits to answering 10 questions a day, right? 10, he's going to answer 10 questions a day. And you should be able to, like, verify that that person is actually in your district. They're not somebody in California trying to play stump the chump with you. I think that's the way to do it. But yeah, I'm definitely not qualified to be Secretary of Defense. He delivered the Amish vote. Scott Pressler's a bad motherfucker. Like, Scott Pressler is a bad bitch. Like, I just want to meet him and shake his fucking hand. I have an idea I think it would work really well, but my voice isn't loud enough. It's frustrating because little people are not heard. Little people can be heard. Like, glass half vodka. Let me tell you, I wasn't anybody on the national stage when I started talking on TikTok. I started talking on TikTok and I just said what I wanted. Like, you can make your voice loud, because you got to understand, I was never on TikTok. It was like I had a corporate job and I was focused on that. I was like, I'm not distracting myself with TikTok. And then COVID shut everything down and I was bored. And I went on there and just started talking, because the currency on social media, guys, is authenticity. That is the currency on social media. No name you'd like for your website? Probably Older Millennial for Congress. That's probably the website, Older Millennial for Congress. But but I mean, that's the thing, is we have to recognize that. God, I lost my train of thought. What did it say? I love how Charlie Kirk kept joking on election night how Florida could have counted its votes 4 times. Yeah, and that's the thing is because Florida doesn't fuck with the votes. We just count them. Like, and we just rock on. But guys, the big thing is, did you see how much of California is becoming red in this election? Like, it's becoming more and more red. Do you have any logo? Any logo? No, it would just be I got to take my logo and put whatever, you know, I'm going to take my logo and put for Congress on it. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're a midget, a tall person, your voice is louder than you know. That's the thing, guys. Go online and say what you think. Don't say what people want to, what you think people want to hear, because like I tell people this all the time. People ask me about becoming a creator on TikTok or becoming a creator on social media, and I always say, talk about what matters to you. That's all you have to do. You talk about what matters to you, because no matter how weird it is, you could be into Warhammer or painting figurines or gardening or whatever it is. There's at least a couple million people out there that want to hear you talk about it. As long as you're talking, as long as it's very obvious that this is what you care about, you know? Like, that's the big thing. Thank you, Millie. I appreciate it. Use that logo on my website. I'm totally down for it. But like, that's the truth. But like, that's what I would love to do, is a website where I can just, hey, look, I want to run for this office and I want the people of this area to be able to ask me questions, and I want to be forced to go in there and answer those questions. Yeah, look, a lot of the country went red. Like I said, this is a mandate. This is the first time a Republican has won the popular vote since 2004. And again, that was in the aftermath of September 11th, where everybody was America, right? So like, this is a mandate from the American people. You know, and that's the beauty of it. I understand. I just need to confirm you have any color theme for that website. No color theme thought process. I live in Florida, Jess. Well, that's where I'll be running for office. But American people have spoken. They absolutely have, corgis. They absolutely have. They have spoken. So let me see here real quick. Let's take a look at. I know I've definitely bookmarked some of these. Let me see here. This one I got. So we're gonna start out. So we're gonna check out some of these liberals who were like so sure of what was going on. Like, so this we just got to go through these. Some of these I just love them so much, so we got to go through them because it just makes me so happy. Like, let's get into checking out some of these fucking liberals. I'm originally from Philly, K-Dub. May I have your, I have your Discord? Sure. It's discord.gg/the older millennial. What legal repercussions? I hope none. Leave that shit alone and focus on the country. Like, here's the thing, once Trump starts doing good for the country, then he can go pick fights with these people and shit like that. Fuckthegov.org here. Nice. Oh, I love that one. Well, you guys know I'm writing a book, How to Unfuck the Government, How to Unfuck America, a step-by-step guide. I'm currently writing that book. So, that should be fun. But I do want to review some of these. Like, I want to get into some of these videos just because I think it's great. Oh, there you go. Corgis just shared it, the link. Still had lots of the old liberals working there. Yeah, absolutely. But I did want to, let me do this here. We'll go over here. Let's check this out. So this was a liberal who set up a bot to post that for you. Absolutely. I believe me, I am an amateur when it comes to streaming. And luckily Vash and Corgis are all helping me out here. There's plenty of few other people. I'm terrible with names, right off the bat. So let me see here. You said, what's up, older millennial? What's up, James? What is it? June Anon? June Anon. What's up? Let me see here. So this was let's check this out. So this was a liberal. This is I think she's a political scientist. This is great.
Okay, so we're closing in on almost 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I've been tracking everything that's been going on across the country today. And my most important encounter was when I went out to get my champagne. I was talking to the guy in the store, of course, asking him, did he vote? And he said he did early voting, and he asked me if I early voted. And he asked me, why I was getting the champagne. And I said, because I'm going to be toasting Madam President tonight. And he just looked at me with kind of like a smirk on his face. And I said, she's going to win this, right? And he says, oh, well, it's very, very close. And I said, no, it's not. He says, well, what do you mean? I said, no, it's not. The women of America are making their voices heard. Reproductive rights is what it all comes down to. And the women are voting in numbers relative to men that are unbelievable. She's won this. And I said to him, she's going to take every one of the swing states plus Iowa. And he said, oh, but the numbers are so close. I said, I'm a political analyst. I'm telling you right now, the numbers are there. She's taking this election. And then I said to him, you realize, and he didn't tell me who he voted for, but of course I knew. And I said, you do realize you wasted your vote, right? And I didn't care. And I walked out with my bottle of champagne and happily walked home.
That is the level that these people went to. That is the level of psychosis that these people had. They were so sure. Like, because in their minds, abortion was a really big issue, right? In their heads, that was the defining thing, is they believed that women cared that much about being able to kill their fucking babies. That's what people believed. That's what these political analysts believed. Where's the follow-up video? I've tried to find a follow-up video from her, but I don't know who she is. So I can't find her follow-up video. Oh my God, hold on. This is by far, if you guys haven't seen this one is by far my favorite one. Holy shit. Be ready for this.
Stop.
I will never get tired of watching that. This lady is so out of her fucking mind that she just ate her shit. Like,
Stop.
I know that hurt. That definitely hurt. Like, she hit that so fucking hard. Like, oh my God, like, oh my God, like.
Stop.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I will never get tired. I'm gonna put it on one more time. I'll let it play for you.
Stop. See, that's why I'm recording. Because the cops ain't gonna believe this shit.
Hear what he said? That's why I'm recording, because the cops ain't gonna believe this shit. Where can you find this? It's on X. Whose post was it? It's hashtag men2. It's at high best of luck. That's the account. At high best of luck. That's his account. This is where it was. Oh my Lord. Oh my God, that was special. Oh my God, I love that one so much. That one really made me smile. Oh, this was September 2024. It has nothing to do with the election. Oh, damn it. Let me see here. This guy. Have y'all seen this dude's video? So this dude, this was awesome. I have to show you this. So this guy is super liberal, super in the bag for Kamala Harris. You have to wait 10 minutes for the Discord. I don't Corgis, do you know anything about that? But here we go.
It is not over for Kamala. And all of you celebrating a Trump victory before the votes are even fully counted, may I remind you that a lot can change at the last minute. And even if we do fail to win the presidency for Kamala, after all the work I've done for white dudes for Kamala over the last few months, we will return in 2028. Kamala 2028 will be the greatest political comeback the world has ever seen. Not just America, but the world. And I firmly believe that Kamala is still the best person in the whole of the United States to be the president of this country.
See, it's lying to yourself like that. You know, like, because here's the thing: even if you hate Donald Trump and you're a Kamala Harris fan, there is nobody out there who honestly believes she is the best candidate in this country for president. Like, it's that simple. Like, there is nobody who thinks that. There is nobody who honestly thinks that Kamala Harris is the best candidate for president of the United States, no matter how much you hate Donald Trump. Like, so this is where these people are being delusional, right? Where they're just lying, right? Because that's not a reality. There's not a reality where people are like, Donald Trump is so bad, I think Kamala Harris is the best candidate. No, Kamala Harris was the candidate because they were just there. But nobody actually believes they were the best candidate.
And if we band together now, if we pull back some of those white dudes who went for Trump this time, by growing the White Dudes for Harris campaign, we can make a permanent change. We can put the MAGA crowd away once and for all.
But see, that's the thing is, like, at first when I saw this, I thought it was satire. I thought he was just like, I thought this was satire. Because that's what it should be. Like, this type of take should be satire.
I'm dispirited. I am dispirited by what has happened, but we can't just give up. We can't just stop now.
Yes, you can. You can try to work with the Trump administration to make the country better.
It's so close. It was so close.
It's not close.
There's just so much hate in this country.
There is on your side.
So much hate and misinformation from Elon. And this, we've got to fight back. We've got to fight back. Kamala 2028.
Oh my God, the level of delusion. Like, that's the crazy part, is there's just so much delusion on that side, right? He's just somebody, and this one from Alice Jones, this is the best of the leftist meltdowns. Oh, this is wonderful. I mean, look, these are the celebrations that we're going to have for the next couple of weeks, because we are going to celebrate, because fuck these people. But we definitely, like I said, we need to work towards, yeah, but here's the thing, MAGA man, you said this is literally what scares me the most about our future. Here's the truth of it, though. The vote shows that these people are the fringe. Like, for the longest time during the campaign, we were being told that people like that were...
Come on, man.
Oh, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for convincing me to vote for Trump. My pleasure, Sheasley. Oh, I got to change the super chat thing. All super chats should be read out loud. I got to change that. I got to change that. I didn't change that. I apologize for that. But I'm going to change it so all the super chats are read out loud. But yes, thank you, Sheasley. I'm glad I was able to convince you to vote for Trump. I'm very glad. But like I was saying, guys, this election showed us that these people are the fringe, right? These crazies they are not the American people. They don't represent the large chunk of the American people. They represent the fringe, the crazy people, right? You can change the super chats for me. Let me see. Hold on. So I think it's under tip settings. Let me see. Tip settings. Let me see here. So tip settings. Let me see. Let me see. Where's the text to speech? I don't know where it is. Tip methods. Okay, it's not tips. It's not under tips. See, because I don't think it's not it's on YouTube though. It's on YouTube. The super chat stuff is on YouTube. So let me see. Let me see. YouTube Studio. Let me see here real quick. Where's it at? Let me see here. Let me see here. See if I can find it. I will have to figure that out later. What percentage of email did you think are real or fake or just for attention? There's some of them that are just for attention. There's definitely some of them that are just for attention. So it's fine. Let me see here. All right, so let's check this out. I want to see this compilation here.
How did we get here? How did we get here?
What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is how fucking dare you?
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
Did I hear some of the lines that Kamala Harris was drinking heavily on election night? I would assume she would be. Like, I'm going to be real, guys. Like, if I'm running for president, I'm definitely fucking drinking. Like, there's no fucking way I'm getting through election night without drinking. Like, that's just no fucking way.
Senate race. It's not going to happen.
Go, Kamala.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
Thank you for the sub, Dax. I appreciate that.
They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
Appreciate the sub, Dax. Thank you so much.
I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters. You don't understand how scared of this man I am.
If this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be like happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone else, everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. Like,
What are you scared of? Like, that's the thing to talk about here. What is there to be scared of with the Trump presidency? And I mean this is an honest question. What is there to be scared of? Like, it really, I know your budget for that website, we'll have to talk offline about that. But what is there to be scared of? Like, that's the reality. What is there to be scared of? Because, like, I hear so many people talk about, like, he's coming for the gays. How? What would make him come for the gays? Like, that sounds dirty when you say it that way, though. But I'm just saying, hold on a second. I need to bring this up. Just so I can. Where's that? No, that's this. There we go. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Sorry, I just need to bring this up so I can actually see everything going on. There we go. Okay, cool. So, but yeah, it's like, what is there to be afraid of? Like, he's not coming for the gays because he's the only candidate ever that before he was a candidate, he supported gay marriage. While he was running, he supported gay marriage. While he was in office, he supported gay marriage. And he still supports gay marriage. Yes, he did. Donald Trump was the first person, the first president to appoint an openly gay cabinet member. Like, he's not coming for anybody's rights. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. He's not coming for anybody's fucking rights. It's so wild that they play this game. You know, it's just so insane.
we're scared for our lives. We're scared for our friends.
How dare you put this man into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country, what it means for us as a people.
To know that there is that much ignorance and that much hate in this country, it's so terrifying. It's so terrifying. How the fuck are we back in this same situation again? Who the fuck is voting for him?
Me, I am.
Genuinely. Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies. Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable.
It's so fucking cringe. It's just so cringe. It's so fucking cringe. I love this one. There's your seat, white dudes for Harris. But it's so fucking cringe. Like it's wild to me. Let's take a look at how Twitter is reacting to this. Let's see here. Let's see the new posts. Predict Trump had cheated. Kamala will become president. Trump will be banned from running for president. Elon has connections with cheating. Okay. That's what he predicts. I don't know who the fuck Fabrizi is, but okay. Let's see here. Let's see. We got anything good? Does he belong in the Trump administration? Absolutely. Absolutely. Says Redditors are disowning their grandparents over the election. This is heartbreaking. It said, yay, the president is my choice. I think Wisconsin went red, but I'm not sure. This is somebody speaking to their grandmother. Sorry to hear. I didn't mean to make you my enemy. You did mean it. You voted for a convicted rapist. Jack, I don't see it that way, so sorry I upset you. Stop playing a victim. Have fun living out your years knowing that nobody loves you. Wow. Well, you know what a piece of shit grandkid you are to say something like that? You said your brother disowned all of you because your whole family voted Trump? Fuck him then. Fuck that person then. So let's see. Over 75,000 of the counted votes were write-ins for Hawk Tuah and Talk Tuah. That's fucking funny. That is people protesting the election. That is fucking funny as hell. I'm sorry. That's hilarious. I don't give a shit what's going on. That shit is funny. I don't fucking care. That's funny. Let's see here. Let me see.
I am a very petty person.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the left.
I'm done crying. My sadness is over. My anger has set in. I am a very petty person, and I am very proud of that. Love it about myself, actually. And so I say this in the most disrespectful way possible. I don't care if you are my family. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't care if we've been friends our entire lives. You can literally go fuck yourself if you voted for Donald Trump. If you are so sad about your groceries being expensive, get a better fucking paying job. Do better in life. Get a fucking education. Do something. Because you are fucking stupid. And I hope you go jump off of a fucking bridge.
We say, I don't believe these people are brainwashed. They choose to believe in lies. Who's in their right mind will believe a child chemically castrated themselves is a good thing? Who actually believes having an open borders is a good thing for the people in the country that's being invaded? I agree. And Millie, I'll message you after the stream so we can sort it out with the Discord. No need to worry about it now. It's insane. These people are fucking nuts. Let's see here. I'm just looking for. See, here we go. This is what I was going to show you guys earlier. As you guys can see, it pretty much the same people vote for Democrats every election cycle, right? But I mean, this is literally the guy who played Lucifer. The guy who played Lucifer is a conservative. I didn't see that. But the thing is, like, you look, it's like they consistently get the same amount of votes, except for this wild shit right here. I mean, let's be real. Like, they consistently get the same votes every year. They don't, except for that outlier. I wonder how that happened. But let's see here. Oh my God. Let's check this out.
Okay, so since Trump won the election, we're cooked. Yup. I'm gonna be leaving the U.S. and I'm gonna be moving to Hawaii.
I'm sorry. What did I mishear him?
I'm gonna be leaving the U.S. and I'm gonna be moving to Hawaii.
Is this satire?
So we'll see how it goes, and I'll update you guys.
Is that real or is that satire? Does anybody know?
So since Trump...
Does anybody know that guy's account? Is that a real... Like, there's no way he's that fucking stupid. You know what? There is a way he's that fucking. I got to stop being surprised by how fucking stupid people are. Like, I really got to stop being surprised by that. You know, like, because I see so much shit like this, and I just go, that can't be real. Nobody's that fucking stupid. You know, so like, you know, trans males threaten to sue after delays in NHS leave them with half-built I'm not even touching that. I'm definitely not touching it. My therapist gave me this and said, that's you. Let me see here. Oh, the thread exposing Donald Trump for cheating. Okay, cool. Yeah, I totally believe that. All right. So yeah. So that's where we are. No, Tom Ellis from the TV show Lucifer, the guy who played him from Supernatural, Mark Pellegrino. Okay, I was thinking about Tom Ellis. I was like, I didn't know he was a conservative because, like, you know, like I honestly I was just kind of thrown by that because I was like, I would never have thought he was a conservative. I mean, he's not even an American citizen. So does he not know? I don't think he knows that Hawaii is part of America. But okay, so what I did want to see, let's see here. So I'm trying to find some of the wildest shit because there is some wild stuff going on, you know, going on with this. Let me see here. I'm looking through, I'm trying to find some of the takes. So, you know.
Come on, man.
Oh, shit.
Can you do more Harry Sisson reaction videos? Hysterical.
Thank you for the $99 super chat, Nardo. Hell yes, I will absolutely still be doing Harry Sisson reaction videos. But I will tell you that I am going to be doing them in a more bring him to our side way. Like, I'm going to be doing, thank you. And again, thank you so much for the super chat. That is by far the biggest super chat I've ever received. Thank you so much. But I mean, I do want to be clear that, like, the goal isn't just to shit on him. Right? The goal before the election was just to shit on his thought process, right? That was a huge thing, was I want to shit on this guy's thought process because what he's saying is wrong. But now I want to try to make a reaction video for him, bringing him to our side. And the thing is that I found that the reaction videos are better on X because I can actually say what I'm thinking. And I'll put anything I put on X, I'm going to start putting on YouTube as a short. The problem is my videos tend to run longer, so they don't go, they're not shorts. So it's difficult, right? So, but yes, I am going to be definitely doing more Harry reaction videos. But again, it's going to come from a side of trying to bring him over to our thought process. You have a video for me? Let me see. You probably, what, you sent it in the Discord? Let me see here. Let's see. Are you DMing it to me? Just DM it to me, Corgis. Let me see here. Let's see here. Let me see. Let's see. I think Harry is a sellout. You have to pay him like the left did. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, it's about having reasonable. Oh my Lord, what did you just send me, Corgis? Oh Lord, hold on. Oh my God. All right, hold on. I got to bring this over here. Bring this over here. All right, so this is what Corgis just sent over. You're not going to get me in trouble, are you, Corgis? All right, let's see this real quick. Let's see what Corgis sent over. Oh my Lord. Here we go. Hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Is this a real list?
I fell in love with Shawty when I seen her on the dance floor. She was dancing sexy, popping, dropping low. Never ever.
All right, so what she's saying is this is the Diddy list, starting out with Jay-Z, Beyonce, J-Lo, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Naomi Campbell, Mary J. Blige, Leonardo DiCaprio, Usher. What we got? Rihanna, Mariah Carey, Pharrell, Paris Hilton, Justin Bieber, 50 Cent. Let's see here. Hold on one second. Let me do this to make it a little bigger so I can see it. see. Okay, there we go. Lil Kim, Drake, Snoop Dogg, Kendall and Kylie Jenner, Alicia Keys. Holy shit, this list is... All right, well, I got to do some verification on this before I put it out. I definitely got to verify this a little bit because it's like this would be a big thing. This would be a big thing.
I fell in love with Shawty when I seen her.
That would be a very... It's still
She was
playing.
dancing sexy, pop, pop, popping.
I was like, it's still playing. But that would be a very big thing to put out. You say Kamala Harris is on the list. Yeah, I gotta, like, I don't have a source for that. Like, I gotta, those are one of those things that I can get sued for. If I put that out, those are one of the things I could get sued for. So I have to be careful on that. Like, you know, I could, like, saying something like that about 50 Cent, like, or Kamala Harris, like, I could definitely get sued for putting that out. So I got to be careful about that. It's like, you know, so like that, you know, as much like, you know, I gotta be sure about that. That's definitely something I could very, very, very easily get sued for. Because if I make that claim that those people are on that list and they're not, I mean, that's a lawsuit. So I got to be careful. Now I could talk about it, but you know, like I said, I got to be, before I put that out and say it's true, I gotta, you know, I got to be careful about it. Just so you know, if any of you guys were unaware, check this out. Hold on, check this out. Washington Post has already created the case for impeachment. It says clearly, it says the case for impeachment. There's abundant evidence of the president's criminal acts in the changing electorate. Clearly, Trump is a criminal. The House needs to consider this immediately and make the case for impeachment. Trump's electorate, made up of white supremacists who are black and Hispanic, are a clear and present denier to the homeland. Women practically begging to... oh, this is not true. Ugh. As I'm reading it, there's no way that's true. That's not true. That's obviously a fake thing, because the way they worded it, that's definitely not true. That's definitely not true. So no, that's bullshit. Like that's definitely not true. But you know, like, let me see here. What do we got here? But yeah. Oh, I did want to play this. So this is our favorite ladies at The View. I did want to play this for you guys. These are our favorite ladies at The View chiming in about the election. I got to play this for you.
And finally, we talk a lot about these different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the...
She's trying to explain it to her, and immediately she chimed in with misogyny. Like, look at that. She just chimed in, and you could see how frustrated she was that she just said that.
97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep. And they were begging people to care about it for years.
Do you guys see how delusional she is? Like, she's trying to break it down for her and say, no, it's because they're on the fucking border. But no, she just keeps saying it's misogyny. It's misogyny. Like, it's so fucking insane.
It's on the border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep. And they were begging people to care about it for years. We
Misogyny
need to
and
take some
sexism.
lessons.
That's what that was.
The lessons are not
Knock,
misogyny
knock.
and
Who's
sexism.
there? Oh my gosh, it's Whoopi.
You guys see this? Like, this is why they're never going to learn the real lessons. Yes, I think New York drops the court cases, but they're never going to learn the real lessons. Like, this is such a perfect example.
And finally, we talk a lot about these different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
It's
the border
misogyny.
crisis is on their doorstep. And they were begging people to care about it for years. We
Misogyny
need to
and
take some
sexism.
lessons.
That's what that was.
Look at how smug she is. It's misogyny and sexism. That's what it was. Like, look at how smug she is. She is not willing to hear any other point of view. She's like, no, it's not the fact that they're on the border. It's not the fact that they're dealing with illegal immigration. It's not the fact that they're actually feeling the effects of this. It's misogyny and sexism. Like, that level of insanity to think that way is like, you have to be such just a bitter bitch to think that way. Because that's not reality. Like, she's trying to show you they're on the border, they're feeling the effects of this, and she's just like, it's misogyny and sexism. Like, and then she just sat there and crossed her arms and looked at the camera like, I'm right, you're wrong. It doesn't matter that it makes sense what you're saying. What matters is that I feel a certain way. Like, that's the insanity of it. That's the absolute insanity of it. You know, it's absolutely fucking nuts. Hold on a second. Let me see something here. There we go. I think I just made a video about Thomas Massey and he responded. That's awesome. But I mean, that's the crazy part of the view. Like, you have to think about that for a second. Like, she's literally pointing out it's on the border. That's the reason. Like, and no, it's misogyny and sexism. And be so smug about it. Just to be like so sure of yourself that it's like, hey, look, this is a logical decision. And no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that it's logical. I want to believe what I want to believe, that the only reason you wouldn't vote for a candidate who didn't get primaried, who couldn't even get a single fucking vote when she was running for president, and wonder why she wasn't able to beat him. Oh yeah, I saw Van Jones trying to gaslight America on election night. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that video. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see here. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that for you guys. Here it is. Here we go. Didn't take me long to find the video, thank God. Sometimes it takes me a long time to find stuff, but here we go.
The people who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats, they were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats, they were Republicans who worked for him. And so it's not just these elite Democrats over here, you know, poisoning the well. You had a pretty broad consensus from Chomsky to the Cheneys, you know, that was very, very concerned and remains concerned.
See, that's the crazy part, is that's how these people think. Is they honestly think that we'll just buy that. They honestly think we'll just buy that. That's the way it works. Hold on a second. Let me set something here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just setting something. Trying to switch to scene is, we'll call it live scene. Give me 1 second, guys. Just binding these real quick so you don't have to keep seeing me run around and click shit. Okay, so let me see. Let me make sure it works. Okay, good. Good. There we go. This is the way so you don't have to keep seeing me like search around to try to click on shit. It's like, let me see here. All right, that's awesome. So, yeah, exactly. The internet is forever. That's what they fail to realize, 100%. And that, it's absolutely insane. I mean, some of the stuff we're seeing. But so I do want to react to some of the stuff we've seen from the news. The audacity of Mark Cuban to say he'd accept a new position on Trump's staff. Fuck Mark Cuban. All right, like what he's trying to do is look. Here's the thing. I don't blame Mark Cuban because he's an opportunist. That's all he cares about. He's a fucking opportunist who just wants to make sure he's set up if shit goes wrong. He's just doing CYA is all he's doing. Let me see here. I do want to look at this. So let's take a look at this. I did want to show you guys this. Now, this was so awkward. According to Peter Ducey, this was so awkward it never aired. I have to say it. Oh, well, I have to unmute it first. That's what I have to do. That will help.
Well, some people, among them critics, are calling it the no comment campaign. 2024 presidential candidate Kamala Harris did not hold a single official news conference. She pushed vibes over policy details. And this was the latest shift, probably research guided, I would imagine. She avoided naming former President Trump over the last couple of days.
Yep.
Just stop saying his name. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, has this take.
She doesn't talk to the media very often, and when she does, it's almost always a softball interview. What would you do to fix the broken policies to make groceries and housing more affordable? Nothing comes to mind. Kamala Harris, what would you do to secure that southern border? Nothing comes to mind, right? That's what Kamala Harris's campaign slogan could be.
Well, that is what she said. He's not wrong. Senior White House correspondent Peter Ducey with more. Hi, Peter.
Harris, even at this point in the campaign, the vice president is so risk averse. She has shown herself to be uncomfortable staking out positions on controversial policies or even on things that are kind of silly. The New York Times has an item now about how she didn't really stick the landing on the Subway Takes podcast. There's this item that says, what happened was a dispute over Harris's take. Rahma, the host, said he had been told the vice president would be taking a stand against removing one's shoes on airplanes. When they sat down, however, Harris had surprised him with a different take. Bacon is a spice. Two senior campaign officials said this topic had been raised in advance. Rahma and his manager dispute this. You can tell from that. Things got so awkward, the vice president's appearance on Subway Takes never even aired.
That's not surprising. It's not surprising that she would be that fucking awkward. Like, it's so wild. Yeah, I love look, I'll tell you what. Donald Trump on Joe Rogan was good. J.D. Vance on Joe Rogan, priceless. Like, J.D. Vance crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. So I do want to give this girl some shout out.
All right, guys.
This is, you all know Brett Cooper, but she ran a really cool video about the liberal reactions, and I wanted to review it because yeah, JD knocked it out of the park. But I wanted to show this because I'm a huge fan of the comment section. I love watching her show. I actually applied for a job at the Daily Wire. They didn't give me a job, but yeah. Could you guys imagine if I had my own show like what she has on the Daily Wire? Like, oh my God, if I had their research team and their production quality, I would love it. So let's check out the comment section here. And again, with the muting, guys, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to unmute.
Guys, you know what is coming. It is the much anticipated Trump win lib reaction video. I don't know about y'all, but I have been looking forward to this since 2016.
But you're 100% right, JD. The most amazing thing of this election is I cannot remember a single thing any prior vice president candidate had to say. JD Vance was in the spotlight just as much and was just as important. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the JD pick either, K-Dub. But I think it ended up being a phenomenal pick.
I looked forward to it in 2020. That did not happen. 2022, we thought there might be a red wave. Ooh, that did not happen. That was a little embarrassing. We got back to work. And guys, this year, 2024, our hard work has paid off. We get to enjoy some of the greatest meltdowns in human history. And last night, guys, as the vote started rolling in, people started to lose their damn minds. And don't worry, I've compiled my favorite moments. So sit back, relax, get comfortable. Let's get into it. Before we do, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the comment section channel. If you
guys, make sure you like and subscribe to her channel. She's got a great channel.
Not already, and of course ring that notification bell to make sure that you stay up to date on all of our uploads. So I don't know about y'all, but some of my favorite moments during election night were actually not on CNN and MSNBC, even though when things started to look really good for us, obviously we switched the channel, had to see what they were doing. Those moments were pretty fantastic, like watching Jen Psaki try to rationalize how Trump, how this Nazi, racist, terrible man could be winning. That was just chef's kiss. However, even though that was fun, my favorite moments took place on Reddit. That cesspool echo chamber of the internet.
You will never find a
more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Guys, it was pure panic. The first post that I saw was a doozy. This person said, I had my husband make us go bags weeks ago. I hoped, manifested, wished every day that we would never have to use them. But here we are. It's happened. I'm just completely numb. I thought I would be a mess right now, but nothing.
Nothing on the outside, nothing on the inside.
Maybe that's because nothing's going to happen. Only good things are going to happen. I haven't even cried. My husband, on the other hand, is wailing, screaming, banging his head off of the kitchen cabinets.
That is a beta bitch right there.
He has a history of self-harm, and I'm terrified that he is about to relapse. Our daughters are crying and asking if they're safe. And
the name of her channel is The Comment Section with Brett Cooper.
We had to compose ourselves and tell them no. They're not, we're not as a family. Our lives here in this city are over. We have both lived here since birth, multiple generations of family born here, but we can't and won't let our trans daughters be taken from us. And that is exactly what's about to happen under a Trump Vance presidency as residents in a deep, deep red state. I need to cry, but I just can't. I feel like I'm living a nightmare. I am so happy that Trump won the popular vote, so I know that the majority of people who live amongst us are not like this. Because I'm sorry, this is certifiably crazy, and I'm sorry.
And that's a big thing, what she just said. Trump winning the popular vote shows us that this is that the majority of Americans don't think that way. Like, they're not fucking crazy. Like, that's a big thing, guys, is that we have to recognize that the beauty of this is showing us that America is not fucking nuts. Like, cause like, I'll be real with you guys. Like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or you thought the same way, but for the while there, like there was a good few months where everything on social media was telling me that Americans and America as a whole had lost its fucking mind. They had completely lost their mind. Like, that's what we saw. You know, exactly. They made him sound worse than Hitler, Stalin, and Mao combined. You're 100% right. That's the crazy part. That was the craziness we saw, was that I kind of went with it. I kind of went with it where I was like, you know what? Maybe America is this woke, insane place, and there's no way back. But getting the popular vote, like getting the electoral vote, awesome. I'm very glad we did that. That puts him in the presidency. But getting the popular vote made it a mandate from the American people. It made it like it wasn't just, the electoral math worked out, right? And you're right, Sky Soldier. I mean, we're crazy. We're just not that level of crazy, right? You know, if Trump had won in 2020, who do you think would be the Republican candidate for this year? Legitimately, I would think it would have been a mixture of either of Vivek and JD Vance. I think that would have been our candidates. I think it would have been probably Vivek for president and JD Vance for vice, because they're buddies. They're actually friends. They met in college. Vivek introduced JD to his wife. Every time I saw white dudes for Harris, all I could picture in my mind was dude wipes. 100%. Yeah, they probably don't appreciate the connection.
Sorry, but I think that you have bigger problems in your life than a Trump presidency. Like if you have trans children, if your husband is and wailing and banging his head against the kitchen cabinets and you're about to cry because you're scared of the lies that the media has fed you for 8 freaking years, like you will be okay. And if you aren't, I'm sorry, that will be your fault, not Trump's. So get your health and your mental well-being in order. If not for you, do it for your freaking kids, because you are setting an absolutely terrible, unhinged example. And if not,
and this goes along with, hold on one second, guys. This goes along with a video that I made on X. Let me see this here. Let me see. I made this video on X, and I wanted to. I'll show you guys. I wanted to show this, like, because this blew my mind. And like, here we go. Because like, look at this here. All right, just watch.
I left it all on the table. I tried.
Chris, it's an election, not a dick. Quit taking it so hard. I can't believe this bitch is crying over this. Let me just say this to any of you out there. Whether you're liberal, conservative, libertarian, Green Party, whatever you are. If a millionaire who you don't know personally loses an election and that causes you to cry, get some fucking help. And while you're at it, Chris, go get some testicles.
So yeah,
I left it all on the table. I tried.
So yeah, so I just wanted to go over that real quick. Wait, did I click something wrong here? Let's see.
Than a Trump presidency. Like if you have trans children, if your husband is and wailing and banging his head against the kitchen cabinets and you're about to cry because you're scared of the lies that the media has fed you for 8 freaking years, like you will be okay. And if you aren't, I'm sorry, that will be.
Her producers are getting better with the camera work. Social media, 50 years ago, these people would have been Baker acted. Agreed. We need to bring back mental facilities.
Your fault, not Trump's. So get your health and your mental well-being in order. If not for
agreement.
you, do it for your freaking kids, because you are setting an absolutely terrible, unhinged example. And if not for them, I mean, then do it for your freaking cats, because lady, I know you have them. And if you want to take care of your cats, you should give them, like Jezebel, dog owners, what the reviews too. And that free my dog to 77 so downhill from here. We are not even close to being finished. Now, this next woman, she was similarly panicked.
I have seen Harry's
quickly
response.
Turned to rage. This one said, to American women that voted for Trump today, this is going to sound beyond messed up, but I hope that every American woman that can ovulate and voted for Trump gets pregnant with an unwanted baby and is forced to carry that child against your will, and then is further forced to properly care for said child.
Oh, she turned me into a Handmaid's Tale.
Nice. Okay, really? Like, oh, great. Thank you. Now, unfortunately for you, based on the results of this election, I think we just found out that actually most women wouldn't see that as a punishment. So sorry to.
Yes. Oh, women are like, oh no, I got pregnant from the sex I had. You know, what's the with consent. I did cry in the 2020 election, happened in the privacy of my room, and then my husband told me to rub salt on it and keep going, so I did. I like your husband. Your husband's a good man. That's how a man should respond. Rub some salt on that shit and move. Yeah, normal women are fine with, because you understand, because normal women understand that there is only one way that you can get pregnant. There's only one way it happens. You have sex. If you don't want to have kids, don't fuck. Like, it really is that simple. Or even more specifically, ladies, there's only like a week out of the month that you can get pregnant. Like that's it. Like, let's be real. If you're tracking your cycle, there's only like a week, maybe a week and a half out of the month you can get pregnant. The rest of the time, you're good to go. Like, I've dated women who have the apps who are tracking everything. I've dated women who want to get pregnant, so they're tracking everything so they know when. So it's like, that is the reality, is there's only about a week and a half you can actually get pregnant. You know, so like, yeah, the 4B movement is going to, I love women talking about, we're going to stop having sex with men. It was like, we accept your proposal. Like, we accept you. Women are like, we're going to stop having unprotected sex with these men. Well, it's like, okay. Like, that was always an option. To believe they get pregnant out of nowhere. If that's the case, I should have 20 kids. Exactly. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Inform you, try again. And oh boy, they certainly did try again. After telling us for years that we are the violent ones, we are the extremists, that we are going to incite more violence, that Trump is going to throw everyone in concentration camps, that they actually were the party of joy and tolerance, they started tweeting things like this. This young woman said, if you know a MAGA Republican Nazi, hurt them. Punch them, fight them, harm them, make them hurt. It's because they are Nazis. They are awful human beings, and they deserve to be killed. That was posted last night at 10 p.m. Here's another one. Can
sorry.
Somebody quick time event kill Trump before he wins? Another person said, someone kill Trump tomorrow, please. And don't miss this time. I'm so serious. Kill his vice president too. Like, another person said, we just have to kill Trump voters is the key takeaway from this election, with kindness. Obviously, of course, because, you know, they are the loving and tolerant party. Obviously. Here's another one. How about we rig the White House with bombs and kill Trump? Who's with me? Okay, so safe to say the joy is gone. Has it evaporated? Is it gone? Just asking, because this is certifiably insane. This is why Trump has almost been assassinated multiple times, because you people put this rhetoric online all the time because you were demanding that people try to kill him. And then again, you say that we are the violent ones. I mean, these people have absolutely no remorse, no self-awareness, only anger, disgust, and propaganda. And again, I am so happy that they are the minority in this country. Thank God. Like, seriously, that is the biggest takeaway, is that they are the minority, even though they pride themselves on being the party of unity, of class.
Do I think RFK will do a good job in the position that Trump gave him? Yes, abso-fucking-lutely he will.
Of love and tolerance and diversity, their words really tell a different story when their little puppets don't fall into line. Hang on to your hats for this one. Latino men are sexist pieces of shit. They are going to get deported, and I'm not going to care one bit about them. Sorry, I thought diversity was your strength. I thought that you loved Black and brown Americans.
Do you love black people?
Here's another one. Latinos and Arabs. There, I said it. Hope you all get deported and banned. Excuse me? You with your little inclusive rainbow flags. And I looked this guy up. This is a real account. This is not a troll account. That is a real human being. So because minority men woke up this year and they realized that you were
I get that, Tabby. I get that. When you go to Colorado, you're very mindful about being a Trump supporter because honestly, scared of people. But be strong against them. Fuck them. Fuck those people.
on their emotions, that you were using them as political puppets and voted for the other candidate, you have now suddenly dropped your whole holier-than-thou anti-racist personality. Got it? Because that's really what it is. It was a game. It was a personality. You don't actually believe those things that you were saying. Well, actually, maybe you do, because your whole MO has been that we as white people are just smarter and better and more privileged. We have to help these poor, sad, Black and brown people. And now that they're thinking for themselves, they're like, oh, actually, you are poor and sad. They're really saying the quiet part out loud. They have been for the last 8 years or so, but now it is exceptionally loud. Here's another one. I know this will sound racist, but Latinos disgust me. That is appalling. Appalling. Another guy said Latinos aren't immune from being effing idiots. I'm sorry. I thought that we were supposed to be listening and learning from Black and brown people. We're done with that? Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for showing us who you truly are. Somebody commented and said, average Democrat when their beloved brown person doesn't do what they want. Another person said, minorities only matter to the left as long as they do the bidding of the elitist pricks. And guess what? They are well aware now. They have woken up and they brought this election home for Donald Trump. Other men, though, well, they are still bought in. They are literally willing to die to stop Trump. This guy said, listen, I've got kids. I would straight up volunteer to be a victim of another 9/11 if I thought it would prevent a second Trump presidency. Like, I would literally give up everything else for the possibility of a future for my children without hesitation. If I could make a promise right here, right now, that I would lose my life savings and get stricken with a debilitating disease, but it would somehow magically guarantee the failure of Trump and the Republicans for, say, the next couple of generations, I wouldn't hesitate to take that trade. Worth it. Super worth it.
Well, I can't help you with that, pal.
For what? For the future of your children? What do you even mean? Like, what is it that you want so much? To be vindicated in your victimhood? To let your daughters be objects with no commitment, killing your unborn grandchildren? To let children chemically castrate themselves? To make a girl boss president just because she has a vagina? Like, seriously, those are the reasons that I have heard from the other side. I don't think that's a future that you actually want for your children. It certainly isn't for the majority of Americans, which is why we didn't vote for her.
Bye, Felicia.
Now, even though that post is pretty out there, like, guys, that was actually mild. Like, I read about 5 different literal notes, like people saying, I will kill myself tonight if Donald Trump gets elected. That is how serious.
Let me just say this right now. If you're one of these people who's like, I will kill myself if Donald Trump gets elected, like, I really hope you get help. Like, I really do. Like, I don't want to be a dick and be like, you know, like, I really hope you get help. And I want to say that in a serious and honest way. Like, just to be completely real here for a moment. Like, we can talk shit, we can call them crazy, but I do want to say that if this election puts you in a place where you feel you might hurt yourself, please talk to somebody. Like, even if I think your worries are completely irrational and I don't agree with you whatsoever, if you think this way, please talk to somebody. Please go get some help. Because this is not worth your life. It really isn't. It's not worth losing your life over. It's not worth taking your life over. Don't do that. I promise you, it's not nearly as bad as you're thinking it is. Like, please don't. Like, BetterHelp.com. Like, there's plenty. Like, reach out to a friend. Like, seriously, don't put yourself in a dangerous position like that. Don't put risk your life or put your life in jeopardy because of this election. Like, don't do that. Like, I don't care. You could be the most liberal, blue-haired, whatever. Don't do that. Be better than that. Like, take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Talk to some friends. Talk to some professionals. Please get help. Right? Just wanted to say that. Because, like, we can call or text 988. Yeah, it's like, that's the thing, guys. If you're whatever it is, like, and I mean this in 100% serious way. I don't mean this in like I'll make jokes about liberals and all this stuff, but if it comes to you thinking that this is worth you losing your life, please talk to somebody, because that's scary for not just for you, but for everyone that cares about you. Don't do that. All right. So just wanted to get that out there. I don't want to dive on that too much. I don't want to bring the mood down a ton. I just want to be, there are better solutions to a temporary problem. Like, please get help. All right. So yeah, sorry for bringing the mood down a little bit, but I think it's important that regardless of what side of the political aisle we're on, regardless of what you think of liberals and how ridiculous they're being, we still have to be human beings. We still have to be Americans. We still got to support each other. There's never a reason to take your life. Every problem is a temporary problem. There's nothing on here that's a solution. There's nothing in the political world that is worth your life. So don't do that. Right? And look, and here's the thing, like, we're not going to convince you that electing Trump is a good thing, right? But even if it is, even if Trump is the worst president ever, it's not worth taking your own life. All right, so let's get off of that. Let's get off of that thought process. But yeah, it's just, don't do that. But anyway, so let's see. Always said everything in life can be fixed, but if you are dead, that's it for you. There's no fixing dead. Thank you for taking a break for that message. My pleasure. Like, it's the truth though. Like there's nothing worth that. Nothing worth that. Definitely nothing in politics. Like, holy shit, there's definitely nothing in politics that is worth that shit. So yeah, let's not worry about that. Let me see here. So there was a couple videos that I wanted to react to. Oh, you guys know I'm a huge fan of the fat electrician, right? A huge fan of the fat electrician. He did a video on tax on tips, and I wanted to watch that. So let me bring this up here. So here he is. So he actually did like a video on something current. He's normally historical stuff, but because is it true that Hamas is already calling for a ceasefire the day after the election? They are. Oh yeah. Hamas wants nothing to do with Trump being in office. They do not want to be fighting when Trump is in office. They do not want that. They do not want that. So let me go ahead and play this for it. So this is the fat electrician actually addresses something that's happening in current events. He's actually addressing the no tax on tips. With crack, crack, boom. Yes. No, quack, bang. That's what it is. Quack, bang, out. That's what it is. All right, so let's watch this because I love the fat electrician. I'm a big history buff, so I love his history videos, but I think this is probably the only current events video he's done. Beautifully said. I had to hold in what I wanted to say about that lady wanting to end her life, but I stopped myself because I need to take the high road. Yeah, guys, like when it comes to people putting their life at risk, there's no room for shit talking. Like, that's serious. Like, help those people. If you got somebody in your life like that, please show them some grace. All right. But actually, here, we'll get to this in a second. My dog just came in, which is basically letting me know that, like, hey, I'm gonna piss on your floor if you don't take me out. So let me go ahead and let me put you guys on a pause for a second. I will be right back. All right, I'll be right back.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They want to let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose
All right, we are back, and the camera didn't freeze, which is just exciting to me. Guys, if you've been watching my stream, you know my camera just likes to freeze. So I'm so glad. I was expecting it to freeze when I came back. I was fully expecting to come back to just a fucking frozen image of me on the screen, and I'm so excited that it did not. Like, I'm so excited. So that's a win for me, right? I'll take it. Yes, the best thing about the fat electrician is he truly takes time to do his research. He does. And that's the wonderful part about it. So, like, we're going to check out his tax on tips. Yeah, I'll always defend Israel. Always. I have their back 100%. All right, so let's check out. I'm just so glad my camera didn't freeze. This is not the best angle to freeze him at. I apologize to him. But I wanted to see. This is him. No tax on tips. Even Trump and Kamala agree. So let's watch this.
Pretty much immediately. Today we're talking about not taxing tips. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, both presidential candidates have come out and said that they no longer want to tax tips. Now, is this blatantly political pandering to get votes because Nevada's a swing state and a ton of them rely on tips for income? Absolutely, okay? But unfortunately, pretty much every tax cut on the books is either pandering directly for votes or pandering to get donations to their campaign so that they
He's 100% right about that. Like, it ends up being pandering.
Can buy more votes. And while that's certainly not ideal, I thought it was cool because this is probably like the only time in my adult life that I can think of where two presidential candidates were on the same page about literally anything. And honestly, it just made sense because you've got Republicans, people on the right side of the aisle that generally speaking are just against taxes, period, of any kind. And then you've got Democrats or people on the left side of the aisle that, you know, they're more pro-taxes, but generally speaking, they want to tax richer people, not necessarily tax lower income people, like generally speaking, the people that are working for tips. And then for me, I was just excited I was going to be allowed to tip somebody that did a good job, knowing that the government wasn't going to step in like fucking Debo and take some of the money.
So y'all don't get nothing? Hell yeah. Got about $200, huh, Debo?
I got about $200.
Because that's absolutely ridiculous. In my mind, at least, a tip is basically a gift to that person, and you're allowed to give away like $17,500 a year to an individual as a gift and not have it taxed. So why the fuck does the government need to tax the $5 gift that I'm giving to the kid that delivered my pizza? So I was excited. I thought for like the first time in my adult life, the Republicans and the Democrats agreed on something and it was actually going to help out normal, working, everyday Americans. And then I wake up and the news cycle hits and every mainstream media outlet and every economist on the planet apparently thinks that this is an awful idea and they've got the dumbest fucking reasons I've ever heard of in my entire life, and we're going to get into those right after a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Rocket Money. It is pretty much your one-stop shop for all your financial needs. It helps you establish a budget, it monitors your credit, and it even lets you track your net worth. But what I use it most for is helping me track and cancel all my subscriptions because I'm always trying to watch MMA fights, my wife's trying to watch Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever, and then we have to sign up for a different streaming service every other day because for some reason every MMA fight and every Caitlin Clark game is on a different streaming service for some reason. So you gotta sign up for the 7-day free trial, then you forget that you signed up for it, and then you're paying $10 a month for the next 10 years. In addition to that, all your other recurring bills like your cell phone bill, your internet provider, your cable, Rocket Money will actually help you negotiate lower prices for those bills as well. So if you want to give Rocket Money a try, you can check it out at rocketmoney.com/fatfiles. I'm gonna have that link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, the history of tipping. Tips have functionally only actually been taxed since like 2012. Buh! Actually, tips have always been considered taxable income. Buh! Yeah, I'm aware. That's why I use the word functionally in there because, yeah, they were technically taxable income since 1913 when the income tax was first established. However, they were never actually really taxed until about 2012. And that's because you couldn't enforce it, right? Because at the end of the day, laws only matter if you can actually enforce them. And back in the 1900s, all the transactions were done in cash and you had to rely on that waiter or waitress or whoever to report the amount of tips they got to the IRS, which nobody on the face of the earth is actually gonna do. Buh! But it's still illegal, so you have to. Buh! Holy shit, I do not understand how people don't understand this concept. Okay, let me break it down for you a little bit more, all right? I live in Iowa, for example, and if I'm sitting down at dinner and somebody says, hey, will you pass the butter? And I grab some margarine instead and pass that to them, that's illegal in the state of Iowa. It is a misdemeanor to pass off margarine as butter, okay? Guess who's enforcing that law? Fucking nobody. It's illegal in Arizona to put llamas in bathtubs. It's illegal in Delaware to whisper in church, okay? None of that shit is getting enforced. Nobody cares. This is one of those times.
Ow!
Christ, Jake, take it easy, man.
Now what? Oh, Jesus Christ. Ow! Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Now, that being said, the government absolutely does not want it to be one of those times. The government wants to tax tips really bad, and they've got a long track record to prove it. In 1965, the IRS really tried to crack down on this when they came out and basically said, like, hey, you're required to report all of your incomes. It's taxable income, and you need to pay us taxes on it. But 1965, everybody was still paying with mostly cash, so everybody continued to just not listen. So the IRS could do literally nothing about it. So, still wanting to get that tax money, in 1982, the IRS came out and then told the employers, hey, we're going to require you to track your employees' tips, and then you report that back to us, okay? Multiple problems with this again. You're asking the employer to side with the government over their own employees, so that's probably not going to happen most of the time. And then, even if that does happen, it's still 1982. Everybody's still paying with cash, and if the employer's trying to figure out how much money and tips the employees made, they're just going to lie anyways, so it's still completely ineffective. So the IRS is just getting more and more pissed off. They realize that they really have no way to track this, which means they have no way to enforce it, which means there's people out there just giving money to other people and the government's not getting a cut, which absolutely infuriates them. So in 2000, they basically resort to scare tactics. They launched the Tip Alternative Reporting Agreement, which is essentially an education program for employers and employees, letting them know how dangerous it is if they don't report their tips. Again, completely ineffective. So then they launch another program in 2002 known as the Employer Tip Reporting Compliance Agreement, which was basically the same thing all over again. And again, it is completely ineffective. And then in 2007, they get a truly diabolical idea when they come out with the Small Business Work Opportunity Act, which basically...
I'm going to check it. Right after this, we're going to go check it out, Patriotic Power Armor.
He goes to the employers and says, hey, you need to start tracking all of your employees' tips, and the more tips you report of your employees, we're going to turn around and give you a tax credit so that you actually make money the more your employees report tips. Basically, they're taking the employer-employee relationship and pitting them against one another over who gets to make the money. Okay, 100% government playbook 101. Take two groups of poor people, get them to fight each other. Instead, they'll never realize that you're the one being the asshole. Okay, makes perfect sense. They do it all the time.
I say, let them fight each other, or we lay back, watch, have a drink, play some wagers. Hey!
So this is where reporting on tips did start to go up quite a bit because some employers were in fact willing to sell out their employees. However, a lot of them still weren't willing to do that. So then in 2012, the IRS finally came out with the Attributed Tip Income Program, which is basically the IRS saying, hey, it's 2012. Most people are paying with a debit or credit card, some electronic form of payment, which means that you now have a digital record of them receiving that money. And we're going to legally require you as the employer to report that information to us.
Gotcha.
And this is where tips really functionally started to be taxed, because even in modern times, if you tip with cash, they can just put that in their pocket and nobody really knows. But the vast majority of people tip on the receipt with their debit or credit card, and now there's an electronic paper trail and they have to end up reporting that to the IRS, and then they do have to pay taxes on it.
Thanks, Obama.
So look, I'm not a tax expert. I'm not an economist. I'm an electrician that just likes to point out obvious shit. So I figured we've only functionally been taxing tips since like 2007 to 2012, however you want to look at it. I remember when I was a waiter in 2008 in high school, and my boss had to pull me aside and be like, hey, just so you know, our company's going to start reporting all the electronic tips to the IRS. So you're going to have to pay taxes on that on the end of the year. Just be aware, because I worked for a major chain restaurant and they were willing to sell us down the river. So I just figured, like, we've only been taxing this thing for 10 years. In reality, what's it gonna hurt to just not tax these guys, right? Because if I end up ordering a pizza during a snowstorm and some 19-year-old kid in a clapped out Camry comes through, I want to be able to give him a $20 bill in cash as a thank you and not have the government be involved, right? I just want the authority and the agency in my life to be able to do nice things for random strangers and not have the government demand a cut. That's all I want. But apparently I'm wrong, because every single mainstream media outlet started putting out news articles and videos explaining in detail why this is a horrible fucking idea, and all of the economists agree. And then you actually read the articles or you watch the interviews with economists, and they have the dumbest fucking talking points on the planet, to the point that it's actually insulting to your intelligence. So the first argument is, if we don't tax...
He's 100% right on that. Like, we saw that, like, not when Kamala said it. So when Trump first said that he wasn't going to put a tax on tips, the media's reaction immediately was, this is a terrible idea. Like, and you have to think really what they're saying at that point. What they're saying is, hey, Trump said, I want to let you keep more of the money you earn. And the immediate response was, that's a horrible idea. That's what it was. Like, y'all have to remember that when somebody talks about cutting taxes, what they're saying is, I want you to keep more of the money you earn, and I, as the government, want to take less of that money. Let me just say right now, if you are a person who is opposed to keeping more of your own money, you are fucking retarded. You are a fucking idiot. There is no other way to say that. Or you're unemployed. Like, those are the people that might do it. But if you are an American with a job and you are opposed to keeping more of your own money, you're a fucking idiot. Like, holy shit.
Tips, it's going to end up costing the government between $100 and $150 billion over the course of the next 10 years. So where are they going to recoup that money from, right? Because you have to go and get that money from somewhere else if we're not going to take it from the waiters and waitresses and delivery drivers.
Where do you get the revenue to offset that? Because it's also apparently going to advance the insolvency date of Social Security's retirement trust fund by over a year.
But that's not true. That's the worst part, is if you taxing people on tips should not affect Social Security. Because Social Security is supposed to be paid for by people paying their Social Security tax.
At a glance, that almost sounds like a mildly coherent opinion if you don't think about it whatsoever. I mean, it's so egregious that one of two things is happening. Either they're just blatantly lying and they know that you're dumb, or two, there's this like phenomenon that happens where you become so well educated that you've been detached from the rest of normal society outside of academia for so long that you no longer have any common sense. And I think that might actually be what's going on here.
I think he's right. I think that is exactly what's going on here.
Now, look, again, I can't stress this enough. Not a tax professional, not an economist, just a guy. But hear me out. What if we just spent less fucking money? You know, like what if we bought...
What a wild fucking idea. What a crazy idea from the fat electrician. What if we just spent less what if our government just spent less fucking money? What a wild idea.
Gave away a few less fucking missiles to other countries. Like, I feel like that's a good compromise.
No, I don't think I will.
No? Okay, we'll just move right on to the next argument then.
There aren't a lot of tipped workers in America.
According to economist Ernie Tedeschi, tipped work accounts for just 2.5% of all employment.
Cool, I understand that most people aren't paid in tips, okay? I'm not rooting for this plan because I think it's going to change the world on a grand scale. I'm rooting for the plan because I should be...
Trump, no tax on tips. MSM, checks the last approved talking points book. There's a horrible idea. Harris, me too, no tax on tips. We've always been a support of this brave and generous idea. Oh, how did you not know about this guy? His videos are amazing.
Be allowed to give the fucking delivery driver $10 without the government stepping in like
they're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
Your name got censored as anonymous because your name is Dickweed. So YouTube puts you up as anonymous because your name has dick in it. But thank you for the sub, Dickweed. I appreciate that. Yeah, you'd love to have more money without the government having their greedy, dirty hands on it. I'm with you.
Mafia and demanding their fucking cut.
It's been 24 hours. Got my money? Yeah, I don't have it, sorry. Well, all right then. That's good, OJ.
And then the next thing they go on to say with this argument as well, it could be really hard on businesses like restaurants because now the restaurant owner has to deal with the fact that some of his employees just got a tax cut and the people in the kitchen didn't get a tax cut, meaning the waiters effectively just got a raise and the cooking staff didn't, and then people might get mad and quit and it could end up ending their entire business. And this is the part where they're actually insulting your intelligence, right? I mean, you expect me to honestly believe that an entrepreneur that's smart enough to run a fucking business is going to have the government approach them and be like, hey, I'm going to take less money from your business. And the entrepreneur is just like, fuck, this is going to put me under. Having more money is just fucking, I can't do it. It's not manageable.
I haven't cried like that since Titanic.
Okay, look, controversial opinion. I'm so hardcore capitalist that I wholeheartedly believe that if your business goes under because the government steps in and says, hey, I'm gonna quit fucking over some of your employees. Literally, I'm gonna add more money to what your employees are receiving on a daily basis, and that's what fucking puts you out of business. I don't care because you suck at being an entrepreneur and you
100%.
deserve to go out of business at that point. I encourage the competition because I know there's other people out there that if the government stepped in and said, hey, I'm going to take less money, they'd fucking figure it out. And the best part about this, that's not even the most offensive argument, okay?
Nope,
this is the most offensive argument.
So for example, if you took a delivery worker who delivered food, they probably get tips. And so they would qualify for this tax benefit. If you took a delivery worker who delivered packages, they usually don't. So they wouldn't get a tax benefit. I can't think of a good reason why you would want to give a tax break to the person who delivers food, but not to the person who delivers mail.
Okay, to compare a pizza delivery driver to a fucking UPS driver is absolutely fucking insane, okay?
100%. Like, you're comparing somebody who has like, if you're a delivery driver, you make good money. Like, stop. Unless you're working one of those fucking Amazon jobs that pays you like shit. But again, you chose that job. If you're like a pizza delivery boy, you're not being paid well.
Okay, it doesn't make any sense. It's on par with being like, well, you know, we don't want to give CNAs a tax cut because then we're not going to give doctors a tax cut, and they're basically the same job. They both just walk around the fucking hospital wearing pajamas, right? No, one of them is paid significantly more than the other for performing more complex fucking tasks, okay? A UPS driver on average makes $27 an hour with wages going as high as $43 an hour on top of 18 paid holidays and sick days, 7 weeks of vacation, and industry-leading fucking healthcare. The pizza delivery guy's making $7 to $13 an hour with no fucking benefits whatsoever. If no tax on tips goes into effect, there's 0 fucking UPS drivers that are gonna quit their job and go work for Pizza Hut. Also, I lied. That was actually the second most offensive argument. The most offensive argument is this.
Let's say I'm a salesperson that gets a commission, or let's say that I'm somebody on Wall Street that gets a year-end bonus. So I reclassify my commission as a tip, or I reclassify my year-end bonus as a tip. The employer helps out because they'll get a benefit, and so everybody wins.
Okay, this is blatantly taking advantage of the fact that most Americans don't really understand how taxes and income works, and they don't really know how to read their W-2, okay? You can't just go to your fucking...
You're 100% right, Corey. And like he's saying, this argument is bullshit.
...employer and be like, hey, Jim, I thought about this. I'd rather my salary get converted from normal income to tips. Hardy har har har. That's not how any of that fucking works. And if you don't believe me, go to your boss tomorrow and be like, hey boss, I've thought about this a lot and I would really appreciate it if on my W-2 you changed all the wages I've earned and told the IRS that those were capital gains, because capital gains are taxed far less than normal wages. You want to know what your boss is going to tell you? No, because that's fucking tax fraud. You want to know why? Because the IRS has very clear definitions of what earned wages are and what capital gains are. They also have a very clear definition of what a tip is. From the IRS, tips are discretionary, optional, or extra payments determined by the customer that employees receive from customers. So a salesperson receiving a commission, not a fucking tip. So a CEO getting a bonus at the end of the year, not a fucking tip. Like the one time the government is actually trying to give a tax cut to lower income working people, they come out swinging with the lies of, well, this tax cut's actually only gonna affect the rich because the rich will just fucking magically turn all their income into tips, is fucking nonsense. Okay, I'm calm. Now, to be completely fair and intellectually honest, there was one good argument that these economists managed to come up with, and that was that if you don't tax tips, you kind of end up incentivizing it in a way, and you're going to help prop up tipping culture even more than it already is. That's true. A lot of people don't like tipping culture in America and wish it would just go away. Which, you know what, to be fair, actually a great argument, right? Because we all feel that way, especially recently, because now they fucking whip the iPad around when you're like picking up your own pizza. It's not being delivered. They still want a 20% tip. Get the fuck out of here, right? Don't get me wrong. I don't mind tipping. I'll tip the waiter, the waitress, the delivery driver. I'll tip my tattoo artist. I'll tip my hairstylist. I mean, my wife does my hair, so her tip's a little bit different, but the point remains, okay? I don't mind giving out tips when you're actually doing something. But at the same time, it is a weird cultural norm that seemingly only America has in modern times, and it is kind of dumb, and if we got rid of it, it wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit. However, the notion that the government should step in and tax it to decentivize tips is also complete fucking nonsense. Because guess what? If you actually do want to get rid of tips, one way to guarantee that you never ever achieve your goal is to allow the government to keep taxing them, making $150 billion, because then they're never going to get rid of it because they're making all the money off of it.
That's not fair.
You're learning. Uh-oh. Capital gains tax.
Okay, this is gonna be a tough pill to swallow. You might not like this opinion, but guess what? If you don't like tipping, don't tip. It's 100% voluntary. You don't have to do it, okay? And guess what? If you get enough people that quit tipping, it'll just go the fuck away and the problem is solved, okay? That's the answer. The answer is not, I don't like tipping, therefore I'm gonna root for taxes, okay? That's completely fucking absurd. Oh, but maybe if the government taxes me more, I'll finally get free healthcare or public schools will be better. No, the government's never gonna fucking make public schools better or give you free healthcare, okay? They're gonna take your money, they're gonna buy missiles, and they're gonna shoot them at poor people in countries that you don't know how to spell. Okay, don't get this twisted. I don't like that. I'm not rooting for it. I think it sucks. However, my point is, if you're advocating that the government should tax tips so that they can divert like a third of that money over to healthcare or education or whatever you think is important, hear me out. What if you just did that? What if you took all of the money that you were gonna tip that person and you donated it to the local school instead? You could solve the problem way better than the government ever can. Quit letting the government and the news gaslight you into rooting for fucking taxes. And apparently on this instance, it's not even the government. Literally, the Republican candidate and the Democratic candidate are on the same page, and it's just the news trying to gaslight you into taxes, which makes no sense to me. Anyways, I gotta go before I give myself a heart attack. Sorry, this was so unhinged, but thank you for watching. Quack bang, out.
So that's the Bad Electrician. I love his content. He makes great content. He's normally historical, and like this had a little bit of historical bend to it because you know that's his content. That's how he rolls. He does historical content, and he does an amazing job of it. Like he does an absolutely amazing job of covering like historical war stuff. But I'm glad he addressed that because he's a great voice on these things. Like he comes across as he's obviously conservative minded, but more than anything, he's just an honest voice. And you're right. What do you say, dude? I was a quick lube down the street, got the oil changed in the truck, credit card slip had a line for tips. Yeah, get fucked. Like get fucked on that. Taxes are the government paychecks. They will take all your money if they could, or find a better way to do, or find a way to do it. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. You have to understand. Like that's the crazy thing because when they talk about not taxing things or lowering taxes, they're always like, "Well, what about the government revenue?" Fuck the government revenue. Like fuck. Like here's the thing. I give you less money, you shrink the government. How about we try that? Like I mean, you also have to think what they're saying is it's going to cost $15 billion a year to not tax tips. No, it's not going to cost $15 billion a year. That means the government is going to not take $15 billion a year from the people who most need it. Because if you're on tips, chances are you're not making great money, right? So when they say, oh, it's going to cost $15 billion, no, that means that is $15 billion per year that the American people, the lowest income American people, will actually have. Like that's the wonderful thing. Like that, anytime, like that's the way you guys got to look at it. Anytime somebody says it will cost the government this, what they're really saying is that amount of money is what the American people will have. People who support taxes are turkeys voting for Christmas. Exactly. So turkey voting for Thanksgiving, right? It's fucking dumb. Like you're dumb. I did want to go look at this because I forget the name, but he asked me to, I think it was like Power Armor, asked me to look at Reddit lies. So let's take a look at Reddit lies. I wanted to look at this. But I mean, wait, hold on. I'm not done with that topic yet. I'm not done with that topic. I'm just not done with that topic yet. Okay. So here's the reality, guys. Like there's no fucking reason that our government is the size it is. The only reason the government is the size it is so unbelievably massive is because we become okay with being taxed on everything. And the way we get taxed is I'm sorry, I have to rant about this, but the way we get taxed is fucking insane. Like y'all have to think about this for a second. Like the money is just a revolving door of taxes where all the money is being shifted around and they're taxing it over and over again. Like say, a business takes in money, right? A business takes in money, it's taxed. Right? The business is taxed. The person who spent it is taxed. Then the business takes that money and buys product for their business. That's taxed. And these are all the same fucking dollars. Like they're all the same dollars. Like you have to understand how the government is draining us through taxes. Because say you spend $1 with a company, that is taxed. Whatever sales tax you have, the government pays a tax on the income of it. I mean, the company pays a tax on the income of that dollar. The person who spent it pays a tax on spending that dollar. That dollar then goes in and is used to pay salaries, which are the company again pays a payroll tax, and the employee pays their income tax. And then the person then takes that money and spends it on something, and that's taxed. It is a revolving door of getting butt fucked by the government for over the same money. Like, so it just blows my fucking mind. Like, I hate to rant about this, but we started an American revolution. We went to war with the most powerful country in the fucking world over a 2% tax on tea or the stamp tax. Like, we went over tiny little taxes. We went to fucking war. We went to war with the most powerful nation in the world, had the largest navy, the most well-trained army. We picked a fight with the largest most powerful fucking nation in the world because we got like a 2% tax on fucking tea. Like that, do you understand how far we've come from those people? Like, those people in 1775, they were like, no, because you're taking advantage of us. It wasn't the amount of money. It was the fact that they were being taxed on something without having a voice, right? And now we just allow them to tax the shit out of us. We allow them to lie to us. Like, income tax started as I always get these backwards. It's either a 3% tax on the top 1% or a 1% tax on the top 3%. I can't fucking remember which it was, but it's one of the two, right? And that was just for the war. That was just during the war, just to, be able to maintain it, be able to fight the war. And everybody was fine to do it because it was only a tax on the top 1%. So it was not a big deal. And now income tax is a way of life. We pay anywhere from 35 to 55% of our fucking income to the government. And what are we getting for it? That was the worst part when Trump was president. People were like, oh, did his tax cuts help you? No, Trump's tax cuts didn't help me because Trump's tax cuts were aimed at poor people. They were aimed at helping poor people. When Trump was in office, I was making 200, 300 grand a year. I was fucking balling. So his taxes, I paid significantly more in tax. Like, I remember my first bonus that I got from my job while Trump was in office. I had this great fucking job working for GAF, and I had a $42,000 bonus. I was like, I am so fucking sad. I'd never seen a bonus like that in my life. I was like, I have a $42,000 bonus coming. When it got to me, it was 23. It was 23. They took $20,000 out of my bonus. Like, I got 23 grand. They got fucking 20 grand. That's nuts. The government didn't do any of the work. The government didn't hit the sales numbers that I hit. The government didn't develop my market and create the logistics for it. But I paid the government. I worked really fucking hard, and the government made $20,000 fucking dollars. I was so furious. And look, I had already been working long enough. I understood taxes. I understood how fucked I was going to be. But when you see, because a lot of times they spread it out throughout the year. They're taking like little tidbits here. So you don't really see it. You're like, oh, I'm losing $100 here, $150 here in taxes, right? But when you get a fucking check, when you get a check that is supposed to be, $40,000+, and it gets to you and it's barely above 20, you're like, what the fuck? Right? Like, that's the crazy part when you see taxes like that. Like, that was the kick in the face for me when it came to taxes. And look, I get it. I was making a lot of fucking money. I'll pay my fair share. I totally get it. But the idea that I could just look that I had earned $40,000 and I'd only got 20. It fucking drove me nuts. That was such like an aggressive time for me. I was so mad. Because I was so fucking happy. I was like, oh my God, this check is going to be awesome. And then when it gets to you, you're like, oh, God, fuck the government, right? All right, so, sorry, I did not mean to rant and get so aggressive about that. It's something that bothers me so much that I watched I watched Donald Trump talk about getting rid of the IRS. The Republicans put forward a bill to get rid of the IRS, and the fucking American people fought against it. They said, no, we want the IRS. So, like, if you were one of those people, fuck you, because we don't need the IRS. But if you were one of the people that wanted to keep it, you can kiss my ass. All right. So anyway, so let's get off of that so I can calm the fuck down, and we can go over to Reddit Lies. So I wanted to take a look at this page. I didn't really know this page too well, but I was told to check it out because they said it's showing a ton of the shit from the election. So let's see what we got here. So the pinned one is, I think this election might actually break Reddit. It said, I'm starting to think Reddit might be an echo chamber that is completely disconnected from the majority of this country. Yeah, probably. Yeah, if you work overtime, they take you on it. I said, what's this one? I keep coming to these subs hoping for replies from actual Trump supporters, but only find anti-Trump people participating. I'd really like to hear from the MAGA Mouse. Come on, Trump voters, say something. We legitimately would like to try and understand this shit. Yeah, like he said, Reddit banned them all, bro. You are in an echo chamber. I am no longer tipping 20% in restaurants. All these servers voted against raising their wages because they want me to continue paying them. It's not fair, and I'm no longer playing into it. Oh, these poor people need tips to survive. Well, you wouldn't have, but you voted against it. I'm not your employer. It's not my job to pay your way. I still tip for good service, but it's going to be but it's not going to be even close to 20% anymore. Fuck it. You get what you deserve. Edit. You guys are right. It's better for me to just stop going out to eat entirely. Vote with my dollar in a way that doesn't directly punish servers. There you go. Way to fucking recover your own idiocy there. Let's see. Your account has been banned. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is this? All right, let's see. You know, I really did have hope, at least a little. For the first time in my life, I really did. But I suppose I didn't realize how much the world, especially this country, deeply hates us for simply existing. I've always said we can't rely on cis society. Oh, God, it's a fucking trans person. We can rely on cis society to not eliminate us. But I was really hoping this time would be different. Fuck America. Fuck anyone who voted for Trump, knowing everything he's done. Fuck any leftist who didn't vote for Kamala because of fucking Palestine. Can't wait to see what Trump does to help the Palestinians, you fucking ghouls. Try your performative little protest now. Maybe the Trump regime will start gunning people down instead. See, this is the level of delusion here. Yeah, they really put the screws to you on bonuses. Yeah, but this is the level of delusion that you get here, where these people are just out of their fucking minds. It'll be Kent State from here on out. The American people are simply too stupid to ever vote in their best interest. We'll take a genocidal maniac over. What about him is genocidal? Like, what about a president who did not start a new conflict is genocidal? Like, oh my God, simply because we hate immigrants who are the backbone of this country. They're not. They're not. Illegal. And people always leave the thing out of it. It's illegal immigrants are not the backbone of this country. You see here. What else they got here? They're trying to flee to Hungary. My God. Oh, my Lord. All right. So, yeah, Reddit lies seems like a wild fucking place. Seems like a very wild place. But, yeah. So, I'm going to go through that. I'm going to get some content for that. This is Hassan Piker was banned for harassment. Hassan Piker was banned from Reddit. That is fucking funny. That is absolutely hilarious that he gets banned from Reddit. Love it. Love it. Couldn't happen to a more shitty person. Fuck Hassan. He used to play my content a lot on his fucking stream. It was hilarious. But hey, guys, so I did want to say, so the stream is a little shorter today just because I have so much to get caught up on. But it looks like they're letting me back on TikTok. It looks like they're letting me post on X. The content is shorter today just because I have so much shit to do with Halloween running into the election. And we had a ton of shit going on. I'm the only one here. My fiance is still out of town. So, you know, genocide, I don't think it means what they think it means. You're right. It doesn't mean what they think it means because they're fucking stupid. But yeah, so the stream is, we did 2 hours today. We're definitely going to be longer tomorrow, but I'll be honest with you. I didn't have time to put together content for us to react to. I didn't have time to really dive into stuff. But I'm going to do my research tonight. I want to have a bunch of stuff for us to react to and do stuff. I just didn't do it today. It's pure laziness on my part, guys. I got home, like I said, I got home at like 10. I mean, I got landed at like 10. I didn't get home till like midnight. And then I slept in today. I was just really tired from traveling. So I apologize for not doing the research and having more stuff for you. But I promise you I will tomorrow. I have a call, and I'll be up early for it anyway. I have a call I have to do at 9 in the morning. So, you know, believe me, we'll do more tomorrow. I very much promise. Since I will also tell you this, since my fiance is out of town, I will very likely be back on tonight. We'll probably be fucking around on doing some games, But and we'll still be talking politics, but we'll probably be fucking around doing some games because she's not here. And when she's not here, I take the opportunity to play some video games because I don't like playing video games too much when she's here. I like spending time with her, and my time away from the computer and out of my studio is to spend time with her, right? But she's not here. She's not going to be here for a couple days, so I'm gonna be a fucking child and probably order food and play video games. That's just how I roll. So look, if you're not doing that, that's on you. That's how I do it. I think it's a good plan. I think it's a good way to do it. Yeah. So let me, so I appreciate that, guys. This will be the end of the stream today, but I will be back tomorrow. I'll be back at noon tomorrow. Rather than being, I think I was an hour late today. I apologize for that. But yeah, I'll be back. Fallout 76. I've never played Fallout. I'm more like a Fortnite, shoot 'em up and fucking run out of the game type of person. But I do have some horror games too. So I am a fan of that. So let me see here. Hold on a sec. Okay. But I am a fan of that. I want to give that a try. And Emily will be streaming soon. Emily's going to be streaming when she gets back. She'll probably be starting next week. So hopefully we'll have her set up and she can stream and you guys can enjoy watching her stream. Look, hot chicks who play video games tend to do very well on Twitch. She does horror games. She wants to play horror games. So, and look, hot chicks that play video games tend to do well on Twitch. So hopefully she does, really well because she's hot and she's playing video games. All right. But that is going to be it for today. I deeply appreciate you guys joining me and have a great one.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em